All right, we've got our big lineman Mel here on the football team. She, in the past, had a lot of thumb injuries, so that thumb is kind of a bit unstable, both in that extension flexion range. So we just like to tape it for the games to give it that extra stability by combining the thumb spicas for both extension and flexion. So we're going to do that today. So obviously Mel, as I said, is a lineman for football. And you've been taped before, right?
I have, yeah.
Yep, so you're not allergic to tape or anything like that, so we know that's good. We're going to look at the thumb area itself, so we're going to compare them. And of course, I have permission to help you with this today. All right, perfect. So we're going to look at the thumb, look for any decap detail, so comparing the two, deformities, contusions, abrasions, burns, tennis, laceration, swelling, flip them over. Okay, I'm not seeing any of that. We're also going to check for our sharps, so swelling, heat. So heat, I have permission to use my hands.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so just feeling around that thumb area, making sure there's no additional heat. Ultra function, she's still playing, she's still doing the lineman stuff, just wants a bit more support. Redness, no redness, and pain, like we said, just looking for that support.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna check our PMS before we begin. So just checking that cap refill. That's good, you can wiggle your fingers. Yep, and you feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So flip that hand back over, and it's her right hand, by the way. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna spray in that thumb area and in that palm area. And we're going to do our anchor. So what we're going to do, start on this dorsal aspect of the hand, we're going to crimp around the thumb region here. Come down, and I'm in this position. I want Mel to be like she's holding a pop can. I want her to be in the functional position. As a lineman, we can have them in this open position, so it's up to Mel whether you want to do it that way.
No, this is good.
But we tend to do it in the functional position still, just in case. Okay, so we're going to anchor that. Come back around. Making sure not to get over those MTP or MCP joints either, because we want to make sure those still move well. Okay, keep molding this down. So we've got our anchor now. Now we're going to do our flexion and extension teardrops. And we're just going to be alternating the ways that we're doing them to one hit the flexion, one hit the extension. So first one, we're going to start on the dorsal aspect of the thumb here. Actually, we'll do it this way. We're going to take our tape, come under the thumb here. So what this is going to do, this is going to pull that thumb into extension, limiting that flexion. And we're going to just fold over, making that teardrop. Back onto that anchor. We're now going to do the opposite direction. And making sure we're going over that MCP joint as well. So that's that joint here. We're going to go up until we get to this IP joint. So this time, starting from the top, coming under, okay, and that one is going to be limiting that flexion. So we're going to do a couple more, overlapping by half each time. Instead of doing the one strip, we can also just do a continuous piece. Keeping it out of that IP joint though, back around. So that one, pulling her into extension, limiting the flexion. This opposite one, pulling into flexion, limiting the extension. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this tape, so tell me how it feels. Try to extend and flex the thumb.
Feels good.
Feels good,
stable,
so if you want to compare it to the other one, as you can see, we do have that less mobility. And we're just going to re-anchor this, again with our zinc oxide. So once again, pinching on that thumb, coming down, back around, make it look nice. Okay, and Liv does wear gloves when she plays, so the fact that we don't really have any windows is good. She can throw that on, and it won't be sliding off, so we're good there. All right, we're going to recheck our PMS.
Yeah.
That's good. You can wiggle your fingers. Yep. Feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're going to do some return to play. Just make sure it works well. We know it works well, but it's always good to double check.
Yeah.
So first thing with that thumb, I want you to just try doing that flexion extension. How's that feel? Feel
Great.
supported?
Feel
Good?
supported, yeah.
Okay, and then we can even just do some rotations with the thumb. That feels good?
Feels good.
Okay. Now I know you're a lineman, so what we're going to want you to do, we're going to take our little board here. And I'm going to want you to push into the board and grab it as if you're kind of blocking a player, nice and slow. Yep.
Go. Yeah.
Go ahead, keep seeing it. How's that feel?
Feels good.
Supported? All right, and we just want to check, make sure I can't knock her thumb out of place either, so I'm going to try to knock it out of place. Feels good?
Feels good.
Okay, go throw your equipment on. The equipment is on. We're back in the field, so we're going to incorporate a teammate here. Since you don't really touch the ball, run with the ball or anything, that's not a big deal, but we're going to incorporate in our player, so we're going to take your teammate here, and I just want you to kind of grab his equipment and kind of push him, just see how it feels. And I want you to almost block them as if you're pushing them. All right, so Mel's going, kind of pushing your teammate. Seems to be good, so we're going to do them have a one-on-one, no rule, so go ahead, teammate runs. He's blocking, she's blocking. It's good, feels good, Mel?
Feels good.
All right, good. So our MOI, we just said she has instability, but we can also just make sure, like if I were to hit her, any problems with that?
No.
Problem with that?
No.
Then we're good. All right, if you need anything else, let me know.
Thanks, Larissa.
See ya.